Welcome back to the show, and I'm here with Dr. Njeri Gachohi, who has taken us through a wonderful topic of how to manage our finances during this time of COVID-19. And before we went for the break, Dr. You said a very wonderful thing, and this is a truth, by the way, and it will help us to understand why are Kenyans or finding themselves in the position that we are right now. You said that even before we went for the COVID-19 pandemic hit Kenyans, our economy was not doing very well. And statistics show that 9 out of 10 Kenyans are struggling and they're worried about paying their bills. And do you think that COVID-19 came to expose our financial muscles so that we can go back to the drawing board at this particular time and think of increasing our channels of finances? Do you think that's a possibility?
That can be a possibility, only that now where the direction we were going is where now the economy was being maintained by what we call the small medium enterprises or the SMEs, which mostly are usually run by women. You find that they are so much into these small businesses and all that, which require daily monitoring. You have to go there, you have to do it yourself, because if it's a small one, you may realize you may not have a lot of employees. So that's why you realize that the woman right now, even when it comes to finances, is adversely affected, because somehow even that home budget, she was the one who was taking care of it. And it's true that COVID-19 has revealed what we call our weak financial muscle, because this muscle has been maintained, or it seems to be relying on one weak part, where if today we were all told to go home and stay, then you realize that what we were finding in supermarkets was is being provided by the small scale farmer, or the person who is working in that small scale shop is the one even who supplies the supermarket. So you may realize that at the end of it, this economy has been sustained. In some countries is where the production has continued, because we have these large scale farmer who produces wheat, who produce vegetables, and you come with trucks and supply. Today, if Kenya was to completely lock down and we don't have the people who work in those small farms doing it, we will all go hungry. And that's why you find our muscle is not strong. And women indeed will be quite adversely affected, because even if you go to the market right now in Nakuru, go to that market down there, and you realize 90% of the people that are in that market are women. And why have they come today? Is because they know this is what is going to sustain them today and tomorrow. And they must do it. Wonderful. But then again, something also you realize that has also affected our country is that, I don't know what happened, but we have, from the top, the government, we are so indebted outside and inside. But then also we have people who have survived on credit throughout. Ask the young people and they'll tell you, sometimes you want to send some money, please don't send through this one. I have Furiza, I have what, and they have Tala, sijui what. And you realize that some are worried right now, because now what you used to do, you get here and pay here and pay here. Now it's no longer. And because that's, I don't know, we got used to debt. And that debt right now is what is worrying us.
You're right.
How do we get through?
How do we get through? And that's a good thing that you brought, Daktari. Talking about debts, what's your advice to a woman that has loans, maybe these financial institutions, and they need to pay? Others, it's not loans, they have insurance premiums that they have to pay at this particular time. What would your advice be to such a lady that is listening to us now? The wise thing right now to do, just like maybe what other banks are doing, that is go and present yourself or call your creditor or your bank. Because from the government directive,
there's a way they are renegotiating their loans, or if not their loans, there can be a waiver, either of penalties or maybe they negotiate the interest rate so that it also gives you a reprieve. There is a way you are relieved out of this anxiety, because now imagine your salary has delayed, or you are doing your business, more business, and you're going and paying maybe personally. There is no like a check of system or a standing order. It is you paying personally from your proceeds, whatever you've gotten. Now you cannot be able to do that all, even the turnover is so low, so that you're just barely surviving. Now you may need to go and discuss with your creditor, your bank. Tell them your inability right now to pay.
Yes.
And then you discuss further. They can give you a waiver for some months, just like what government advised the banks to do. And I think whether it is the whichever creditor would be able to be reasonable now. And again, also for the premiums, maybe you need also to talk with your insurer, whoever it is, whether Britam, whatever. I think there is a way they can see these unusual times, not that you have refused to pay, if there's some constraints.
And they are very understanding.
They are. Everyone right now, we have to be together. It is where you say, we are in it together. Yes.
Yes, you've had for yourself, if you have a loan or you have a insurance premium that you have to pay at this particular time, this is not the time to hide. Like Dr. Njeri Gachohi has said, people will understand you, your creditor will understand you, your insurance firm will understand you. Don't die alone. Don't think that this is too much and get stressed in the house. Please get out of the house, visit the financial institution or the firm and explain your case. We are in this together, like Daktari has said. Now, Daktari, what are some of the guidelines that a woman can take at home? These are not the usual times. And we've said they're different times, not difficult, but different times. What are some of the things that, the guidelines that women can take at home right now to ensure that we don't go overboard, we don't overspend, or at the same time, we are not stingy. We are not stingy that we are holding everything that we don't know about tomorrow, and our children are going hungry. And what are some of the things that we can do at home right now that can help us as women?
Thank you, Pastor Ruth. It's important that, as we're calling them different times or unusual times, everyone in the house understands what we mean by unusual times. It may never be just business as usual, but we are not going to starve ourselves. We are not going to drive ourselves, of many other things. We can do what we can do. I mean, this is important, where you can discuss and realize what is an essential thing and what is a non-essential. It is important to have a big breakfast. But what about if we can discuss and realize, what about if we can alternate? And today we can have the eggs. Maybe next time if we have a sausage, but it may not be just like what was the normal. And as people adjust and talk together, then they can be able to adjust. And then you realize if a woman is able to do some, supplements. Out of my boredom at home, I had just a small farm there that I had leased out. So I told that person, please let me get half of it. So I've done my kudes. I did some, I'm so surprised that I wake up in the morning and after opening the gate, I go to the garden. Sometimes even speaking to them, I'm so happy they are responding to me. But I'm saying that is also part of a supplement. Now with the rain season and all that, there's a way you can supplement that kitchen budget with planting some onions. You don't have to have so many sticks there. You can plant dania, all that, which can even be done on buckets. I've realized there are people who are putting soil in buckets and planting some of those things which you can use. And so I'm saying a woman can be innovative at home, but also as you agree within the family, what are the essentials and non-essentials? What is necessary and unnecessary? In that way, because we are talking about, we are on a survival mode. When we survive through this, let's sit down and discuss now the new budget. But for now, let's see what we can do. And it's working, because sometimes you find they can even have, you know, some ways of telling you what, Mom, this is what we can do today. We are going to do this. And I'm loving it, because sometimes it's also relieving me that anxiety where I don't want them to feel like I am really being stingy. I don't want you to consume more of this. But I also don't want them also to feel like it's normal. It's not normal today. Yeah, we are not in normal times.
We are not in normal times. It's the new normal, like people, the people are saying and talking about, and that's what people are saying. And Daktari, they always say that in every adversity, there is advantage. And I believe, how can we as women take advantage of this adversity to grow ourselves financially? I believe, I know that right now there's nothing much we can do, but what are the lessons that we as women can learn right now? Honestly, Dr. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she said she's at home right now. She doesn't have any income, and she was like, I want to start a business. And you know, I looked at her and I said, business is easy. Okay, but do you know, after I went home and I was like, hey, in every adversity, there is advantage. What are some of the advantages that we can take right now to boost our financial muscles as women, not only for now, but even for the future?
That's very good. And I'm looking at it and realizing that as we call the new normal, the new normal will define so many things. Even the businesses that have maybe survived this, whether the supermarket and all that, because some of them, when it comes to those that we have daily needs, basic needs, those ones have what you call in the essential services have remained. We will find ourselves defining even what business will be, the future of business. Why? You realize there are those who have realized, I can no longer wait for customers. What about if I delivered it? I had seen Glovo another time here in Awadad. What is Glovo? Right now, people know what Glovo is.
I know.
Because they are delivering your food and your package right to your door. Now, this is something that you may find. The internet, as we are now closed down with it. Because we are only interacting with the world through one window. The internet. And so you can know what is going on in France and everywhere and the whole world and not live in your house. That will be the new market and business. Get yourself there. Even me as a counselor, if I wait for a client with this social distancing, I may find myself not doing it. But what about if I get myself on online? There is Skype, there is Zoom and all that. And I'm telling you, the new normal is wonderful. Now, this is what is important. I was reading somewhere and somebody said, this is a time where it's like we are being taken back, like where a computer has hung, you know? We say, you may hang. Now, we reboot it. We restart it. So what happens? Or restore it to factory settings. Now, this is what we need us. Even as a women, look at what we have pursued all this time. Could be vanity of vanity. Some of the things we think are so important, we are so surprised that they don't matter anymore. So right now, as we reset ourselves at home, look at the most important things, the most important people, the family, my husband, my children, and my, the closest family members. Then you realize I have to prioritize myself again, even when it comes to issue of finances. Because sometimes, even right now, death is almost becoming personal. You are people. So what I'm saying is this, even in that business, as you think and reset yourself in meander, now where do I go? And it's important to realize.
Great. In adversity, there is advantage.
There is always an advantage.
I like what you've said. You know, they've always said that the old people are offline and the teenagers and the young people are online. But right now, look at how many even old people are online, trying to sell, trying to do something. And I want to encourage a woman that is listening to me. Like, let's go back to factory setting, like Daktari has said, and let us take advantage. If you're doing business, like Daktari has said, why don't you consider going online right now? Because that's where we are heading. And it has always been a pleasure for me to come to your house, like I've said. And today we've learned that our finances must be adjusted. And she has given us wonderful guidelines of how to do that. And I want to say, if you're a woman, you have watched us and you have been blessed by this program. We want to give you an opportunity to give your life to Christ. Peradventure, if you don't know Christ, these things you cannot do if you don't know Christ. Our mission is to help you get to know Christ. And we want to ask you to repeat this prayer after me. And if you make this prayer, I want you to visit a Bible-believing church, call a pastor that will help you grow in your walk of life. I want you to say, dear Lord Jesus, I come to you. Today I realize I'm a sinner and I give my life to you. Help me become the kind of a child you want me to be. I confess my sins and today I come to you that you may accept me into the household of faith. If you've made that prayer, call us. Call a pastor and get into a Bible-believing church, as I've said. And I'll end by saying, you're a powerful woman. Take care of your finances. If you adjust your budget right now, and if you have, don't hold back. Give it back to the family. May the Lord bless you. You're a powerful woman.